story, a father's sacrifice, a daughter's redemption, and dreams fulfilled. Robert was a humble and hard-working laborer living in a small, rural town. Life had never been kind to him, but he had learned to endure its hardships. His wife had passed away when their only daughter, Emily, was just 3 years old. Since then, Emily had been the center of his universe, his reason to live, and the keeper of his hopes. Robert worked tirelessly every day, taking odd jobs around the village. He would carry sacks of grain, repair broken fences, and dig trenches under the scorching sun. Each coin he earned was saved with one goal in mind: Emily's future. Emily was a bright, ambitious girl. She excelled in school and often dreamed aloud about becoming a doctor. "One day, I'll wear a white coat, and you'll be so proud of me, Dad," she would say, with a determined smile. For Robert, these words were more precious than gold. He vowed to make her dream come true, no matter the cost. Emily's academic brilliance shone through when she topped her district in high school exams. Her achievements became the talk of the town, and the villagers praised Robert for raising such a remarkable daughter. Their encouragement fueled his determination. He knew that Emily needed to go to a prestigious college in the city to pursue her dream of becoming a doctor. Selling a significant portion of his small farmland, Robert arranged for her admission and living expenses. Emily left for the city, promising to make her father proud. The city was a new and dazzling world for Emily. The tall buildings, the bustling streets, and the vibrant lifestyle were a stark contrast to the simplicity of her village life. At college, Emily met Alex, a charismatic and wealthy young man. Alex was popular, charming, and had an air of confidence that made him the center of attention. He noticed Emily during one of their classes and began striking up conversations with her. Initially, Emily kept her distance, focusing on her studies. However, Alex's persistence and charm eventually won her over. Soon, Emily found herself spending more time with Alex. He introduced her to an exciting lifestyle of late-night drives, parties, and expensive gifts. What Emily didn't realize was that she was slowly drifting away from her purpose and her father's sacrifices. Meanwhile, Robert's life back in the village had become even more challenging. With most of his farmland sold and increasing expenses for Emily's education, he worked longer hours. His body grew weaker, but his resolve remained strong. Whenever Emily called, Robert's voice was filled with warmth and encouragement. "How are your studies going, Emily? Remember, you're my pride and joy," he would say, masking his struggles. "Don't worry, Dad. I'm doing my best," Emily would reply, though her words were now laced with guilt she refused to acknowledge. One day, Alex confided in Emily about a problem. "My parents are pressuring me to marry someone wealthy," he said, feigning distress. "If only I had some financial independence, I could make my own decisions." Blinded by her feelings, Emily decided to help Alex. She called her father and fabricated a story about needing additional money for college fees and essential expenses. Without hesitation, Robert sold the remaining part of his farmland and sent her the money. Unbeknownst to him, the funds were handed over to Alex, who promised Emily a future together. A few months later, Robert received a letter from Emily's college. It stated that her fees were overdue and that she was at risk of being expelled. Shocked and confused, Robert traveled to the city to confront Emily. When he arrived unannounced, Emily was unprepared for his questions. At first, she tried to cover up the truth, but under her father's firm and loving gaze, she broke down. "I gave the money to Alex," she admitted tearfully. "He said he needed it for us to be together." Robert's heart broke. He couldn't comprehend how his selfless sacrifices had been taken for granted. Without a word, he left her apartment and returned to his village, his trust shattered. Not long after, Alex stopped answering Emily's calls. She later learned through mutual acquaintances that Alex had used her money to fund his engagement to a wealthy girl. The betrayal was a devastating blow. Emily realized that she had not only lost her father's trust, but also jeopardized her future for someone who never truly cared about her. Overwhelmed with guilt and regret, Emily returned to the village to face her father. She knelt before him, tears streaming down her face. "Dad, I've been so blind. I betrayed your trust and wasted your sacrifices. I don't deserve your forgiveness," she said. Robert, though deeply hurt, embraced her. "Emily, we all make mistakes. What matters is that you learn from them. The road ahead will be hard, but it's never too late to set things right." Determined to make amends, Emily returned to the city. She took on part-time jobs to pay for her education and redoubled her efforts in her studies. Despite her struggles, she stayed focused on her goal of becoming a doctor. Back in the village, Robert resumed working, though his health had begun to decline. He refused to let his own pain hinder Emily's chance at redemption. Years of relentless hard work bore fruit when Emily graduated as a doctor. On her graduation day, she invited Robert to the ceremony. As she received her degree, she called him to the stage and said, "This degree belongs to my father. His sacrifices and love are the reason I'm standing here today." The audience erupted in applause as Robert stood beside his daughter, his eyes brimming with tears of pride and joy. Lesson: this story is a testament to the power of unconditional love, the weight of sacrifices, and the importance of redemption. It reminds us to value the selfless acts of those who love us, and to strive to correct our mistakes, no matter how difficult the path may seem.